picture stepping out of a cafe, right? You're in this bright, bustling foreign city.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful architecture everywhere.
Exactly. You look around, taking it all in, and then you realize you are just completely lost.
It's the worst feeling. The whole city suddenly just turns into this giant maze.
It really does. So welcome to this deep dive on the English effect. Today we're digging into some really practical conversational guides.
Specifically about how to ask for directions, yeah.
Right, because our mission today is to take that exact feeling of panic and, transform it into total confidence for you using just simple everyday English.
And honestly, looking through the source material, the big takeaway is that you really don't need advanced grammar to navigate public spaces.
No, not at all. You just need a few basic tools. Like the guide starts with this classic icebreaker. Excuse me, could you help me?
Which is so crucial, because if you just walk up to a stranger and ask, like, where is the bank?
Oh, yeah, that feels so aggressive. It's basically like bluntly bumping into someone on the sidewalk.
Right, exactly. Whereas easing in with that indirect approach, it's more like a gentle tap on the shoulder. Native speakers definitely respond better to that.
For sure. But there's this really cool mechanical trick the guide mentions for those indirect questions. Because a lot of learners try to swap the subject and the verb.
Yeah, they overcomplicate it. The secret is you just keep the normal sentence order.
Right. So instead of, where's the bank? You just attach it to your polite opener. Like, could you tell me where the bank is?
Sticking the verb right at the end there, where the bank is. It's such a tiny structural shift, but, I mean, it instantly upgrades your politeness.
It changes the whole tone. But, I always used to worry that if I asked politely, the local is going to fire back with this incredibly fast, complex grammar.
Oh, I totally get that fear. But the transcripts show they actually just default to simple action words. They shift into what's called the imperative voice.
Which sounds super technical, but
It's really not. It just means giving highly efficient commands, like stripping away all the filler and just saying, walk straight or turn right.
so you really just have to listen for the action and then combine it with basic landmarks.
Yeah, the absolute basics. A block, a traffic light, an intersection, a roundabout.
Or just the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And you think of those words as like the anchor points on your map.
Right, and then the prepositions are the string connecting those anchors. So things like going across the street or walking past the supermarket.
Or going through the park or stopping next to the pharmacy.
Exactly. You're literally using those prepositions to draw a mental line in your head from point A to point B.
Which is such a helpful way to visualize it. But once you actually have that mental map, the logic completely changes when you go underground.
Oh, yeah. The metro system is a whole different beast. It shifts from physical landmarks to, like, sequential transit steps.
Procedural stuff,
Yeah.
but the guide breaks the subway down into this really tight 5-word survival kit.
Which is brilliant. So the route itself is a line. Where the train pauses is a stop.
And you get on the train, not get in, right? You get on.
Right, get on. And to switch routes, you change trains, and then finally, you get off.
Get on the red line, go 3 stops, get off.
Yeah,
So much simpler than trying to decode those massive subway maps on the wall.
definitely. The guide also points out some fun regional quirks to watch out for.
Oh yeah, like the US versus the UK. So in the US, you'd be looking for an apartment, taking an elevator, and maybe buying gas.
But in the UK, you're looking for a flat, taking a lift, and buying petrol.
Right. And the pronunciation shifts too, depending on where you are.
Yeah, Americans tend to soften the letter T, so water or better end up sounding like they have a D in them.
Like waiter.
Exactly. So the guide suggests if you want to be instantly understood everywhere, you should practice a really crisp est consonant blend.
Oh, like hitting the S really sharply on words like street or station.
Yeah, street, station. Making that deliberate effort cuts right through all that background noise in a busy city.
It totally does. Oh, and before we wrap up, we have to mention the classic native speaker sign-off,
Yes. When they finish giving directions, they almost always say, you can't miss it.
which is hilarious because, it's definitely not literal. People miss things constantly.
All the time. No, it's just a friendly cultural idiom.
Yep.
Little boost of encouragement as you walk away.
It's a nice touch, right?
Yeah.
And it actually brings up a really interesting thought to leave you with today.
Yeah, think about this. When you learn how a culture gives directions, are you just memorizing vocabulary?
Or are you actually learning how those locals mentally map and experience their entire world?
That's a fascinating way to look at it.
It really is. So your challenge for next time you're out is to test this in your head. Look around and practice that exact formula. Could you tell me where the nearest blank is?
Start mapping out your own environment using these tools.
Exactly. Keep improving your English naturally out there. And if you enjoyed this, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to The English Effect.
And hey, drop a comment below using one of our new vocabulary words. Try out that formula.
Yes, I'd love to see it. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.